So Kande Yumkela, good morning and welcome to Wake Up Show.
Good morning.
Thank you for having me.
Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you and your listeners.
First off, take us what prompted that particular statement from Kande Yumkela.
Well, it is fitting that as a leader of a party in Parliament, that the beginning of the year one gives a statement. But it was also necessary reflecting on the fact that I have been now in Parliament almost 9 months. If it's a school year, that's almost a full school year. Yeah. So I've had good education. I've been in the center stage of politics and public policy now in the country as a practitioner, not as a campaigner, but now as a practitioner. I felt it was necessary to give my views on some things that are going on and also help guide the other political leaders in the country about what I see and how we should comport ourselves.
So elaborate more on those views of yours, taking into consideration the current political tensions.
Yes, there are tensions, and I see people pandering to tribalism. I see it on many sides, and I caution against that. Some of us campaigned against that heavily. We wanted Salon Force, that we look at the country, where we want to take the country. We look at the people, the youth and so on, where we expect them to be in 5-10 years. So when I see a tendency to appealing to tribalism, regionalism, and actions that seem to be perpetuating that, I got worried. Also, I see that there are cases also where people are arrested and there's a perception that in fact their rights are being abused. True or false, it has to be addressed. I see cases where there have been sparks of violence in different parts of the country. So I felt as a senior leader in the country that I have to admonish myself and others that we have a responsibility to heal the nation. And a lot of those tensions are connected to post-election situation. So one, I want the government itself, and you notice I said the government has to live up to one country, one people, that we're all the same. We're all Sierra Leoneans, and reach out and demonstrate that that is the case. If people are complaining that there's firing and hiring based on regions, they address it openly. In other words, listening to that, and they make necessary moves to address it, to allay the fears, or put the facts on the table. At the same time, to the opposition to say, look, if some things have been done wrong, don't tribalize it. Yeah, don't tribalize some things that have been done wrong. But in cases where there is blatant tribalism or regionalism, yeah, we speak out. We have to speak out when things are good and when they are not good. So I'm appealing to myself and to other political leaders that we have a responsibility. But at the same time, we have to do the job. We must fight the war on corruption. We have to.
And that is what got me more interested. The biggest fight right now in the country is the war on corruption.
Yeah.
And in your statement, you said that should be carefully and judiciously managed. Yes. How?
It must be clear to everybody that the war on corruption is across the board. We have to make clear that that's the case. Second, we have to show the public, demonstrate clearly that if we're going to do commissions of inquiry, they will be fair, they will be transparent, they will not target individuals. So I have also been explicit, and my party has been explicit, that all those who had responsibility for decision making, for procurement, for finance and expenditures, disbursement, must be considered where the evidence goes, not just ministers. I was a minister before, so I speak from experience. I've managed a department and I've managed parastatals in this country. So we look at the whole spectrum, not just ministers. Yeah? So the inclusiveness, the fairness, the transparency, and I say it should all be televised. Why televised? Because I believe it's a therapy for the nation. Let the young generation see that it is normal that after you've served in government, we call you for good or for bad. Tell us about your stewardship. By the way, we saw some discrepancies. Can you explain? Or, but at the same time, we say, kudos to you. When you were there, here's what you did. Let people see that on television, the young generation. It tells them that, look, there will be accountability. So the war on corruption, by televising the commissions of inquiry, will allay my fear and your fear that it's not a witch hunt. The questions were not unfair, if they were not unfair. Your answers were adequate, so they should not have charged you later on. So by televising it, bringing the media in, we educate the nation, but we also demonstrate that there are no hidden agendas. The rules of procedure are crucial. You know, for me, that is real. So I commend the Bar Association. I wish they were doing more of that in the last regime as well. That when it comes to law and legality, they have a responsibility. Let them not be politicized. The action they took now is good for government. They're not trying to stop the Commission of Inquiry. They're asking for clarity. And I said in an earlier interview, to be very honest, this would not have gone to the judiciary if we had been given enough time to debate it in Parliament. If we had 4 weeks, we could have debated it. We could have made amendments. We bring the bill back and we pass it. So when we don't, again, you see how the interconnection of the governance structure. If we don't do our job, people will pick it up, then they have to go to the judiciary. But let me also say, it is a test of the Supreme Court now. This is not one of those cases that you keep adjourning and waiting and, you know, and thinking about it. No, this is decisive. You know rules of procedure. You meet as judges within 48 hours. That's how simple I believe this is. It happened in the UK. One person challenged Theresa May. That, wait a minute, you're rushing too fast with Brexit. I think, as an individual, this was one lady. I believe the Parliament should have a say. Went to the courts, 48 hours. They gave a judgment to say, it is true, it should go there. So, this is what, and so I am happy the Bar Association did this. I hope we see now that, in fact, those in the legal practice are now saying, look, yes, we want to do things right.